Hello, my beautiful friends, and welcome back to Alien Protocols. You know, the congressional hearing that just took place, there's so much to talk about it and say, but in this video, I just want to focus on one interesting fact. They spoke about very briefly this circular object that the Pentagon researched and could not explain. And this has been seen numerous times. And I have done some videos about these. In fact, recently an article came out that I spoke about this craft, this type of class of crafts, and how it was related to two historic incidents, and that they're very common. And this goes and fits into the fractal UFO model that Dr. Simeon Hine and I have spoken about on Reality's Edge together. And here is a picture of two of these craft from two different videos. One of these, this one, was seen moving super fast. It was caught on camera moving super fast between two people on the beach. And it moved so fast, you really almost couldn't detect it with your bare eye. And this is from another incident, from another witness. And I have numerous pictures and work on these guys. This is one from Mystery Wire, and this is a series of these that were seen off the coast of West Virginia. And this is one of those 3 UFO pictures. This one looks like it's just in the process of fading out. Now, I'm going to kind of fill you guys in a little bit more on the fractal UFO model and how these guys fit into that. And it's kind of a, it's an amazing piece of information. Just really briefly, the theory states a few different things, but one is there are UFOs there are drones or probes or little assistants in every craft, basically, except for the very smallest craft. So the larger craft has at least 2 smaller ones in it, and we've done projections as to the total amount of UFOs based on sightings in a year, and the number is just absolutely freaking ridiculous. But there's different size craft, and the theory basically says the closer you get to the surface of the Earth, the more of these craft will be seen. I mean, the more of these craft there are, and the greater need they have for invisibility. So as you get closer to the surface, there are more craft, but they have a greater and greater need for invisibility. So there's intermediary craft and scout craft, and these craft transfer to larger craft supplies that are oftentimes brought to them by the smaller craft, mission drones. And if you go all the way down here, here's our little friend, the sphere right there. And there's even smaller ones, of course, than this guy. But the really interesting and notable thing is, you know, with UFOs, you don't have to look up to see UFOs. Maybe we're looking in the wrong direction. These smaller ones are closer and closer to the ground. They're mission-oriented. We could get into their mission in another video, but they are incredibly dynamic. They have this surface that you can see in some of their videos had these kind of striations on it, this kind of mesh, in which, where's the other picture of them? You can kind of see this a little better. But I'm sure you saw it just a minute ago. Oh, here we go. Oh, here we go. You can see some of those striations a little bit better here. The striations in this one. And this material is very dynamic. There are armatures that can come out of here and different things that these craft can do depending on their mission specifications. And they can change, they can go invisible, they can flash lights, shape change. They've got armatures that extend. And we can even talk about who sent them at some other point. The primary intelligence is very very interesting. But I think there's a whole bunch of things that can be done about these smaller craft. Yes, they can be seen in infrared, but we could also set up ultraviolet to see them. I think some are even starting to respond to our capabilities of seeing them in infrared, and thus we should be able to see them in ultraviolet. But, you know, infrared systems are most often seen in the sky. We have these FLIR systems on helicopters. There's been great footage seen of craft in the sky from Puerto Rico to Chile. The Chilean Navy has that great footage where the craft is invisible completely in the visual spectrum, but completely visible in infrared. So these are the probes, my friend. These guys are collecting. They are gathering data and physical samples, and they're bringing them to other craft. Remember how the Tic Tac had the little L on the bottom? Remember that? And it was rendezvousing with a saucer under the water. You can imagine almost any type of data they would need to transfer could be done electronically. It would have to be something physical to physically rendezvous, like in the Nimitz case. And that also lends to the possibility that these little L shapes, of course they could be part of the propulsion system, but to me it also seems very logical they could be part of a physical transfer system of some of these samples and other things they're accumulating. Then they store in these intermediary craft for a while until there's a sufficient amount to justify going off planet and delivering them to our friend here. What do you guys think? Does this theory or hypothesis or theory make sense to you guys? I would love to hear your thoughts.